We've got Karen Harvey. Karen, good morning, and what are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about being a senior and being retired, and of course you mentioned mothers and grandmothers, which as senior people we need to pay attention to things that are going on that we didn't have time to do when we were working all those years. I'd like to pay attention today to what my government is doing, and while we're being distracted by many things, Congress is being pressured to fast-track, that is, fast-track legislation that will, once again, help international corporations. The end result of this fast-track is the Trans-Pacific Treaty Partnership, or the TPP, something that is coming up this week, next week, May 19th through 20th, in the next round. What is fast-tracking? Well, Congress is, under the Constitution, the one primarily responsible for treaties, international treaties, trade treaties. International trade treaties are congressional responsibility. When you fast-track, you give that responsibility to the President of the United States. Fast-tracking means that Congress signs away its responsibility for examining this so-called treaty, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Fast-tracking means that he will sign the pact and Congress within 90 days must decide yes or no without having seen or participated in the treaty documents, which are largely done in secret. Now, what is the TPP?
I have no idea.
It is sometimes described as NAFTA on steroids.
Uh-oh.
It's an international treaty, trade treaty so-called, very much like NAFTA. 20 years ago we did have NAFTA, which was the North American Free Trade Agreement. Free trade reads Free Trade Agreement. But NAFTA, 20 years ago, and over the ensuing 20 years, has ripped the heart out of industrial America. We've lost millions of jobs. NAFTA has ripped out the heart of skilled America. It allowed the trade barriers to be eliminated. Our factories closed, they moved to other countries, and the cheapest labor was used. That benefited the international corporations. It did not benefit us, the middle class, the mothers, the grandmothers, the seniors. Then our government gave tax breaks and incentives to those very clever international corporations who put in these outsourcing methods. And millions of jobs have been lost, as we all have experienced. Well, we've not recovered from NAFTA yet, and the same financial people are pushing the TPP. Under a thin guise of leveling the playing field economically, the American working people will be competing with 16 other countries, like Malaysia and Vietnam, where the workers get $3 a day to work. This will be devastating to American jobs. But TPP is not just a trade agreement. In addition to the trade aspects of it, it threatens to roll back financial regulation, it threatens to roll back environmental standards, and it threatens to roll back U.S. laws that protect the safety of our food and our drugs and some of our products that will be new imports under this no tariff trade agreement. These products, drugs, foods, toys, will be made by people who make $3 a day. This TPP would create a binding policy setup on countless subjects, preventing Congress and state officials from oversight. TPP regulations would supersede our national laws and our state laws. To date, Democrats have been opposed to the TPP. They oppose surrendering the congressional right and responsibility to oversee trade agreements with foreign countries. But it behooves us, grandmothers and mothers, and seniors and everyone, to understand the pressures for increased centralization. It's important that we understand this thing that's coming and make it our business to understand it and to oppose it and to support those who oppose it, like Louise Slaughter, who brought it to our attention in the Buffalo News this week. She's the representative from the Rochester area. And another person, Martha Robertson, who's the candidate for the 23rd congressional seat in our area against Tom Reed, who is very much in favor of the TPP. So we think that it would be important to recognize that these things are going on while we're being distracted by other things, and it's very hard to understand, but hopefully we'll know that it isn't going to benefit us. It's only going to benefit a very few people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Karen, Harvey, thank you as always. And that is an eye-opener. And if you think about this, and I think I'm right on this, think about all the products in the last maybe 5 years that we keep hearing about recalls. Lead in paint from toys from other countries. Products that are coming over here that we're either eating, ingesting, sharing, or wearing, and they are substandard. And as you say, they're probably going under the radar screen to come into our country, and they're not necessarily under the same protection, and then just the whole industrial thing has just sucked the life out of our country.
There are very few inspectors, and when they
Right.
inspect, I mean, we know we have labels of organic and inspections, but these inspectors go over once a year.
Right, not enough.
That's not enough,
Not
and
enough.
if you talk to them, they say, I wouldn't trust those labels because I've done it. So-
Okay. Well, folks, if you have any thoughts on this and you want to call in and share your ideas on this, bring it on. That's what we're all about. So again, thanks, Karen, and thanks for you and your husband covering last week. I appreciate that, and you might see these folks from time to time.